everyone, welcome to another video. Time to get caught up on some new RuneWars news, I suppose. The article came out on the 15th, but I'm only just getting to it now, so sorry about the delay. But we are going to look at Ankaur Maro. I don't know. Ankaur Maro? I don't know. I could have got Google to say it for me, but you know what it's like. Hey ho. We're going to get right into it. It's the Flesh, Blood and Bone article, and this guy looks pretty awesome. If you enjoyed my video on Lord Hawthorne, which I'll link at the top after this video, this one I think is going to be even better. The synergies you can get are going to be really, really interesting. So we come in and straight up we get his stat line. So he has defense 2 and 5 wounds, so it's a healthy amount of wounds to try and chew through. And he also has a white die for a melee attack, so not overly powerful, but then the ranged attack is where things get interesting. So the ranged attack is equal to the number of unstable runes that have been cast this turn, so pretty brutal in the potential that you could be rolling 3 white die, and that's quite a beefy attack. Pardon me, stupid coke. Then we have the special, which is you get to add in up to the stable runes number of trays to a Warqar inventory unit at range 1 to 5, then suffer wounds equal to the number of trays added. So he has the potential to be doing a lot more summoning when you consider that the unstable unit runes are going to be getting your reanimates up normally. Then the fact that this ability can add full trays as well, you have a potential to buy really cheap units and just bulk them up through the casting, and that's pretty good, I have to be honest. I really like that. Then we get to his surge ability on the ranged attack, because obviously he would be taking damage for this, so you want somewhere to heal him, and they've got you covered. For 2 surges, you get to remove 1 wound and basically buff him back up. So with that amount of defense, 5 wounds to play with, you should be bouncing up and down the 3-4 wound point, and it seems pretty good. So when we go in for the runes, you have a minimum of 1 stable, maximum of 2, and obviously a minimum of 0 unstable, maximum of 3. So you get the chance to always add at least 1 tray if you dial in that special, and you can usually recover at least 1 wound, but that's going to be a bit weird. Then cost wise, he costs 40 points and comes with the 2 upgrade options. Then we have the ability on his card as well, which is Forbidden Law of the Shadow Council. I should give it its full name. Your army can include 1 non-unique unit from any other faction. After setup, that unit receives 2 blight tokens. So really powerful ability there. You need to obviously be taking a unit that can try and get rid of these blight tokens, or we're going to be pretty ineffective if your opponent just leaves them on until the turn of engagement. But just the amount of variety. Kiri's really good, and she can only take a unit of elves. This guy can take any unit, so watch for some really interesting synergies here. I'd be tempted by something along the lines of the rune golems, just because you can then, whatever the runes are cast, it's going to be of some benefit to you, unless you get all blanks, which is pretty unlikely. Then as we come down, it just shows a demonstration of how his summoning works. So we have the 2 stable runes here, so you get to add in 2 trays, which does 2 wounds to him, blah blah blah, just that cycle through. So yeah, pretty simple, nothing too complex. Then we get onto his dial. This is where the fun really begins, when we start looking at some of his modifiers. But straight up we have 2, 3 and 4 moves at an average speed, let's say, nothing crazy. Has the bank, no turns. He does have a modifier for an extra move, so he can really shift if he needs to. We have the white modifier for the rally token, we have its fastest move is a reform at a 3. Its slowest move is his special at an 8. So as long as you have as long as you're confident the unit's still going to be there in some form, you can start adding those trays to it. Then we have his attacks. Combat attacks pretty quick actually at a 4, especially when you consider, even though it's only 1 white die, you've got all of this, you know, his modifiers here. So you can add in a mortal wound straight away. You can add in the surge, which don't really need to, or with double damage. So lots of potential for killing stuff relatively quickly. And you have the ranged attack at 6, which is okay, not too slow. And again, you can add in the surge to help trigger the ability up here, or you can add in double damage, which is pretty good. If you consider you could be rolling 3 white die and adding in double damage, it starts to get beefy. It starts to get pretty scary. But can do a lot of damage. Just without beating around the bush, that can wreck stuff. If you have a 3 unstable runes in there, this attack's going to be coming at you and it's going to hurt. Then we have the Duskblade. So this one isn't Ankaur. I don't know, I can't even pronounce. I'm so bad at doing names, sorry. It isn't specific to him, so any of them can take this, and it's just good. I think this would be really nice on Ardus, to be honest. So for a double surge, you get to reduce the defender's defense by 1 for this attack. You can add in a surge. 2 is pretty expensive, but I think it could be okay, and I think costing 8 points, it's reasonable. It's not quite as good as the Dawnblade was, but what are you going to do? The ones that really shine is this Regenerative Magic or Violent Forces. So regenerative, I can't even speak today. I don't know why I even try. This one is specific, and it reduces the number of surges that precede your surge abilities is reduced by 1 to a minimum of 1. This does not affect surge plus abilities. Okay, so that on the Duskblade, goes down to 1, so pretty good. Then you have his healing goes down to 1. So if you do get 2 surge, you can now heal 2 wounds. So really good. Only 5 points. Makes him relatively tanky as long as you're getting to keep rolling those dice. My favourite one though is Violent Forces. So your ranged attacks now rolls a number of white dice equal to stable runes instead of the unstable. So you're guaranteed to always have a ranged attack available, and it's always going to be a minimum of 1 dice, maximum of 2. And then your special adds in the unstable number of trays instead of the stable, so between 0 and 3. The big kicker for this though is that you then gain brutal 1. So what that opens up is the fact that you can always do this range attack, because you always have the dice now, and you get the double damage and brutal, so that's going to go into a pretty hefty amount of damage to churn through some people, and I really like that combo. Model wise, I really like the concept art. The colour scheme's okay. I mean, I do like the purple and the blue. I don't know about the paleness on the skin, but the model wise I do think it's pretty nice. I think this is probably the better shot here. Can I zoom in? Probably. Yeah, let's see if I can bring that picture up. There we go. Oh, so bad. What a fail. There we go. So I think it's a nice model. It's got potential to really output a lot of damage. I don't know what the hell that thing is that he's riding on, but it looks pretty beefy and scary. And yeah, I don't know what you guys think. Let me know in the comments. I don't know that I'd definitely replace Ardus with him, but I think there's potential for him to have a completely different play style, which could be a lot of fun. So I'm going to pick him up and try him out on the table. Let me know what you guys think, and thanks for watching. See you on the next one.